Tonight, Origin time. The Maroons are ready to crush the enemy. Only 7 News has Webby's word from Camp Queensland.
Council in crisis. Townsville's mayor sensationally takes leave moments before a unanimous vote of no confidence.
The moment 2 masked thieves raid a suburban backyard, stealing a puppy.
The death of a Hey Hey legend. Stars pay tribute to John Blackman.
What was he thinking? A Gold Coast Daredevil facing possible jail over this stunt.
And for real life, how you can get your hands on Bluey's dollar bucks.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Sharyn, Ghidella and Max Futcher.
Good evening. The mighty Maroons are just 2 hours away from kicking off their campaign for a 3rd straight Origin Series win.
Let's go straight to Webcke at a core stadium in Sydney tonight. Webby, the Maroons have revealed their superpower.
Oh, they have shouted back. They've sent a powerful message to supporters back home. Passion is the key here, and that Queensland spirit will be on display for all to see tonight.
Blues heartland, more like a wasteland. No banners, signs, streamers or painted faces. Do they even know Origin is on tonight? In Parramatta, an Eels legend is selling as much Maroons merchandise as he is Blues.
Are you in the market for a nice scarf? You look good in that. I might put it on there while I've got the chance. What do you reckon?
No, my skin will start burning if you keep that on me.
At least one bakery is getting behind their state. But can they stomach the Maroons bus slipping into enemy territory barely noticed?
It makes me physically ill.
I don't know why they're welcome here. It's, you know, they should be hauled off. Tow truck's on the way, I assume.
Hey, it's done and dusted. Thank you. Okay?
Done and dusted.
Done and dusted for the Blues.
Thank you.
But the Queensland spirit can't be silenced.
Ah, the Queenslanders! Yeah! Queenslanders forever!
Every one of them wants to go out tonight, and we'll go out tonight and die for the jersey and die for the state. Our connection to state is our superpower.
Bleeding for the cause, the Maroons skipper, Daly Cherry Evans, while the shield was already secured, the loss in Game 3 last year still burns.
We're certainly not perfect and we've got a lot to work on, and this year's a new series.
The way he rallies the troops, the way he connects the group, his on-field leadership, I can't speak highly enough for Daly.
Even American tourists can't be convinced to support New South Wales.
It's a bit new. We're a basketball team from Utah, you know, but we like some footy.
Queensland's just better colours, and cane toads are cool.
Spoken like true Queenslanders.
Well, Mitch, looking at that, you've had a very interesting couple of days, meeting plenty of wonderful people from both Queensland and New South Wales. But tell me this, you've spent plenty of time with Billy Slater's men as well. What about their preparation?
Well, Webby, I want to start by going back to Game 3 last year, which was down here in Sydney, where the Maroons were chasing a clean sweep. They failed in that endeavour, and they could be accused of being a little bit too comfortable. Now, at the time, on that game day, assistant coach at the time, Cameron Smith, well, he said, I feel like the team was ready to go a few days ago.
Oh, alarm bells right there.
Warning signs early, but that has not been the case. The word comfortable is pretty much banned in Camp Queensland, and that has been Billy Slater's mantra. We want to be comfortably uncomfortable.
Well, as usual, Billy gets it right. That's exactly how you want to be. Well, no matter where you go, you're bound to hear Queenslander tonight. The state turned it on for Origin, showing our southern neighbours how to celebrate ahead of Game 1.
Checking in before a last-second dash to make kick-off.
I'm hoping for a close game, but it'll be us. It's Queensland.
Hopping across the border, hopefully on a return flight with bragging rights.
What do you hate most about New South Wales?
They're sore winners and sore losers. So they no matter what happens, they're always sore.
Embracing enemy territory.
We just got it in the bag. We're going to have a lot of hate looking at me.
In Mackay, they took care of the troublemakers. On the Gold Coast, confidence is brewing.
Go the Maroons!
They'll smash it.
Hoping for a Blues win, a moot point.
Probably 25, 30 cows that will try and get out there for a bit of support.
Supporter snags the perfect appetiser before the main course.
I think if you're passionate about the Origin, you don't need any fuel, but you know, little things help, I suppose, little niggles here and there.
Queensland Rail even helping out, using new rags to wipe away any blue residue. The Premier's bet, not a prediction, just a spoiler.
They win, I'll wear their jersey, but when we win, he'll wear our jersey.
Because tonight, it's about one thing.
Go Queensland!
Queenslander!
Queenslander!
you're not at the game, chances are you're either rugged up or you're at the pub like we are down on Caxton Street. And now you can see the crowd is behind us. We have the Maroons fans. We have a couple of Blues fans as well, like this. Let me just stand in front of this guy so you don't have to see him. Some not as brave, but you can spot the Blues fan a mile away. They're the ones drinking Tooheys, shocking beer. But regardless of who you support, I'm good, mate. Regardless of who you support, not this guy. Either way, we are one game closer to Origin glory.
Well done, Ned. You're a brave man. Well, let's bring in Mel Whiteman now, who's on the border. Mel, you've got a foot in both camps.
I do, Webby. I'm still in Queensland territory right now, but only just a step to my right, and now I'm with the enemy in blue. The rivalry doesn't get any more fierce than here on the border. Whether you're a Blues or a Maroons supporter, both were loud and proud today. Communities down here live and work together, but come Origin time, neighbours are divided. One Gold Coast family that knows exactly who they're supporting is Reece Walsh's. Today, we spoke to his brother, who's flown out to Sydney to support the star.
It means the world to us Walshers. Just seeing him run out there doing what he loves doing every day really means a lot.
Well, they are happy to show their support down south. I'll be staying right here on the Queensland side of the border, confident of what's to come.
Sounds like a good idea. Thank you, Mel. Well, one thing I can tell you that will be a problem, the weather. They're expecting rain tonight, which will favour one side more than the other. When the heavens do open up, the game will close down. The flashy stuff will have to go out the window, negating Reece Walsh's impact. It'll be close quarters combat in the middle, where New South Wales are stacked. 4 big units on the bench, while we picked an outside back in Cobbo. But as a big fella, I know how hard it is to get around a waterlogged pitch. The forwards will be asked to do even more work, and that's where size can count against you. Our mobile players, Cotter, Carrigan, Hopgood, can all play 80 minutes, so tick for Queensland. The other factor, the kicking game becomes crucial. Now, the Blues have Hines and Luai, but we've got the best in the business, Daly, Terry Evans. Throw in Ben Hunt, who kicks 40-20s for fun, Harry Grant and Tom Dearden. Right there is a winning formula. Max and Sharyn, I'll be back a little bit later with more from inside the Maroons camp.
We will catch you then. Thank you, Webby. And don't forget to have your say on our special Origin survey, what you don't like about New South Wales. You can use the QR code on the screen, go to our Facebook page or 7news.com.au, and we'll have the results later in sport.
In other news, the Townsville Mayor has sensationally taken leave moments before councillors voted unanimously for his resignation. Troy Thompson is under investigation for lying about his military service, education and business record. That process could take months, but it's likely he'll remain on full pay.
Arriving for an ordinary council meeting shaping up to be anything but, keen Townsville residents needing to see it for themselves.
I think he should get a good kick up the butt, but I think he should keep his job.
I think he's a fraud.
Do you think he should resign?
I think so.
The live stream crumbling under huge online traffic.
Our live streaming is suffering an overload of people trying to connect. It's not every day something like this happens.
The mayor at the centre of it all, a no-show.
He is seeking leave of absence pending the outcome of all investigations relating to him.
Troy Thompson posting on Facebook, "I'm still the mayor, just taking a break for mental health reasons. I will not be commenting further. Perhaps the media can find a new toy to kick." Refusing to resign, councillors pushed on, all in lockstep.
I move the council resolves that 1, the council does not have confidence in the mayor. 2, council requests the mayor to resign his position. All those in favour?
A unanimous vote with an uncertain path ahead.
Where to next? We don't know. I think we've done our little bit.
Troy Thompson is under a CCC investigation for misleading voters over his military service and education. Until that's complete, the Premier says the state is hamstrung, meaning Thompson will likely continue to receive his near $250,000 salary.
I think it's clear that he wouldn't have been elected if Townsville locals knew the truth.
I've repeatedly said I think his position is untenable.
His predecessor with only this to say.
If we want our community to do well, we should be putting Townsville first.
And Jacqueline Robson joins us in the studio now. And Jackie, can the Mayor hold on to his job after this?
Well, Sharyn, he's digging his heels in, but unless the local government minister has a dramatic change of heart, Troy Thompson's days are numbered. Today's council vote was really just fodder to let the minister know Townsville wants him out. Even if he's cleared by the CCC, Megan Scanlon says it's important ratepayers have confidence in the Mayor. And given he's only been in the role 3 months, any vacancy would trigger a by-election. For now, they have an acting Mayor indefinitely. Sharyn and Max.
All right, thank you, Jackie.
2 women and their dog have escaped a burning home moments before it exploded in flames in Auden. The cause of the fire has now prompted an urgent warning from authorities.
As the sirens pierce the night, flames and smoke burst through the darkness. Firefighters frantically working to contain the emergency in Auden, which broke out around 6:30 last night.
Just saw flames coming up that sort of looked like it was coming out of like the tree was on fire.
The 2 owners escaped with their dog only to watch memories, possessions and their home burn.
We had to get out quickly. So these were last night's clothes.
Today, 80-year-old Dawn Butler returned to salvage what she could.
Well, the front looks all right, but inside it's devastated.
Devastation, fire investigators say, was sparked by a gas heater,
which somehow malfunctioned or misused.
As the southeast shivers into the start of winter, there are warnings for people to be vigilant for the rest of the season.
If you're going to pull any sort of gas heater, electric heater, make sure it's tested first before you utilise it.
The owners have lost everything, including their home of nearly 40 years, which is destined to be flattened. They are now forced to stay with friends for the time being.
Astounded at how kind people have been and how concerned the neighbours have been.
Concerns too for authorities as they brace for the ugly side of winter. Garth Burley, 7 News.
7 News can tonight reveal the daughter of murdered grandmother Violene White has been turned away from Ipswich Hospital following a serious mental health crisis. Let's go to Steve Hart. And Steve, the White family is devastated and claim a lack of care.
As if they haven't been through enough already, Sharyn. They're a family who are still struggling to come to terms with their mother's murder. One of Violene's daughters was rushed to hospital after an attempted overdose of insulin, but discharged a short time later. The family are furious and say she was sent home and prescribed sleeping pills.
You don't give sleeping tablets to someone that's overdosed. It doesn't matter what the amount. She needs a full assessment. Like, not just, like a drive-by, here's 2 hours, see you later and we'll follow you up in a week. We're one amongst the thousands. How many more are just being left and ignored? There's too much going on and we can't afford to lose another family member.
Yeah, Cindy, they're obviously talking about her sister. Now, the Health Minister, Shannon Fentiman, has had direct contact with Cindy and is trying her best to work through it with the family. The daughter in question is in the care now of family.
Steve Hart reporting there. A man has been charged with murder following a deadly Uber hit-and-run crash at Webcke last week. Police allege Kai Furzy slammed a stolen Ford Mondeo into the rideshare vehicle on May 28. He's then accused of fleeing the scene. 30-year-old Ryan Grafton, a passenger in the Uber, was killed. Furzy is facing 11 charges, which were briefly mentioned in a Brisbane court today.
Australia's economy is on life support tonight, with growth of just 1.1% in the year to March. Aside from the COVID era, it's the lowest level since the recession of the early 90s.
Her Eras tour poured $300 million into the economy. And now Swiftonomics has helped keep the economy afloat.
Yes, there were some one-off events.
But not enough to prevent the lowest growth result outside the pandemic since 1991 and this.
This is a recession that Australia had to have.
Economic growth of just 0.1% in the March quarter, 1.1% for the year.
There's a whole generation of Australians who've never seen anything like this.
An economy barely with a heartbeat, consumer spending subdued, household savings at a 15-year low, productivity virtually non-existent.
The primary cause of this very weak growth in our economy was higher interest rates.
The economy is weak, yes.
The Reserve Bank Governor warning if inflation refuses to fall, the RBA won't hesitate in sending rates even higher.
Not ruling anything in, ruling anything out.
Saying the full impact of the final 2 rate rises will only be felt in coming months. Michelle Bullock also revealing the budget's energy bill relief will have little, if any, impact on the RBA's future decisions on interest rates. Saying the $3.5 billion rebates might lower headline inflation but not the underlying rate that the RBA relies on.
We try to look through things that are one-off and are going to be reversed.
Jim Chalmers says the rebates, coupled with stage 3 tax cuts from next month, will help.
Australians in communities right around our country don't need the March national accounts to tell them that things are tight right now and things are tough right now.
And are likely to remain tough for some time. Mark Riley, 7 News.
A crash between a ute and truck has caused traffic chaos on the Gateway motorway. It happened around 2 p.m. on the southbound lanes of the Gateway Bridge. Police had to call in a special heavy-duty tow truck to haul away the wreckage. One of the drivers was taken to the PA hospital in a stable condition. Australian entertainment stars are paying tribute to a show business legend tonight following the death of John Blackman. The Hey Hey funny man is being remembered for making a career being heard far more than he was seen.
Funny, sharp-witted, brave in the face of illness, and the old-school voice of Australia's TV weekends.
You're watching Hey Hey It's Saturday.
John Blackman died yesterday. It's believed he had a heart attack, collapsing on the couch in the arms of wife Cecile.
It came as a hell of a shock when I heard today that he'd gone, because he was at my birthday party only a couple of months ago.
He made a name by making a character, Dickie Knee.
My mum actually wears a ponytail like that, but only because she can't afford a facelift.
He'd beaten cancer once, only for it to return.
As you can see, my face has changed a bit. It's not so bad because all the people I borrowed money from don't recognise me anymore. So if you're out there...
When I think of John Blackman, I have the biggest smile because apart from all that, he was so kind. He was a really kind, one of the goodies in the business.
You're an idiot. How dare you call me an idiot?
You're an idiot.
Well, those glory days of Hey Hey, often you didn't see him, but his presence was always felt.
With the super responsive shit. The bad news is the
Great dad, great brother, a terrific mate, and a really funny guy to be around.
Does your dad know you've got his golfing hat on?
From Daryl Summers, I'm devastated at the loss of my beloved friend.
I love John.
John Blackman was 76. Hey Hey's cartoonist Andrew Fife helping him sign off a final time. Blake Johnson, 7 News.
Now for a look at the weather, and Tony, you're out at Woody Point tonight.
Yes, Max, it's one of my favourite spots to watch the sunset over the water here at Woody Point, and it was a nice one about an hour ago, but it was sunrise that got people really excited across the southeast earlier today. Plenty of colour in the sky. I've had a flood of photos come in, including this one from out at Warwick, where it was close to freezing as this shot was taken, and it was a chilly morning right across the southeast, dropping to 9 degrees here at the Redcliffe Peninsula earlier today before climbing back up to 21. And we do have a few more chilly nights ahead. I'll be back soon with the forecast.
Thank you, Tony. He jumped out of a moving car off a bridge and filmed it all. How a daredevil survived this dangerous stunt on the Gold Coast. That's next.
Australian Olympians warned about protests or even terror attacks in Paris.
He does have a knife.
The terrified reaction from passengers caught in a road rage attack.
And the Royal Australian Mint unveils Bluey coins. How to get yours.
Queensland's DIY disaster epidemic. Home improvements, leaving owners with a house of horrors. The top 5 reno projects that are turning into expensive mistakes.
We were lucky to go over 15 grand.
Plus, the simple drops helping to save eyesight. 7 News, coming up.
A Gold Coast daredevil has been slammed after risking his life for social media likes. Paige Van Lunteren, the dangerous stunt, has also caught the attention of police.
Max officers say the teen could be fined more than $3,000 or face up to a year behind bars. Mad Johnny, as he calls himself, posted this video to social media. He climbs onto the roof of a car before launching himself from the moving vehicle off the Currumbin Creek Bridge.
We did a couple preps before, and we also had a lot of people there. Checking the water, of course, checking the road and checking the boats.
I do hope that there's the number plate recognition there, and I hope that they do throw the book at him.
Mad Johnny says he won't be stopped, even claiming he has another stunt planned this weekend.
Paige Van Lunteren there on the Gold Coast. Australian Olympians are being warned their experience in Paris is likely to be disrupted by protests or even terrorism. Games officials also believe a cyber attack is almost certain.
Just days after French police arrested a man accused of planning a terror attack on an Olympic soccer stadium, Australian officials confirm security is their highest priority, although
our responsibility is not the security of the Olympic Games, that is the matter for the French authorities.
They've revealed they'll take a federal police officer and 2 security experts.
We have inspected every venue.
An Olympic briefing today to discuss every possible problem. Like the Seine's water quality for triathlon and marathon swimming, still failing testing.
We need to prepare them for the possible pathogens that might be in there.
Warnings too on athlete protests.
Not on the field of play and not on the podium.
Preparations a challenge. 460 athletes, 500 coaching staff, 3,000 flights, 500 beds, 8 ice baths. Budget $24 million. But when the athletes pack up and head out of Australia, which many already have, they won't be forced to leave all of their creature comforts behind. The AOC revealing it's gone to great expense and effort to make sure they have everything they need, including, thank you, good coffee. They'll have 3 baristas, like the Tokyo Games, plus pallets of Vegemite, Wheat-Bix, 4 and 20 pies.
There'll be pies.
Chris Reason, 7 News.
P&O has cancelled more cruises after the shock decision to retire the brand. Several Pacific Adventure and Pacific Encounter itineraries have been scrapped before the line has set sail under the Carnival brand. The vessels will be out of action for 2 weeks in March for rebranding and tech upgrades. P&O says customers will be contacted for refunds.
A low act that's left a Queensland family heartbroken. Next, see the moment thieves take off with their puppy.
A flood of concern for Ipswich residents over their buyback offers.
A shaky start for Nigel Farage's run for British PM.
And the eye drops that could help save your sight.
Video has emerged of a terrifying road rage attack in Sydney. A man in a Corolla cuts off 3 people in a ute, then comes charging at them with a weapon in hand. They speed away, clipping their attacker's car as they go.
Why did you do that? Did you not see what he's doing? He had a knife in his hand. Call the cops. Call the police.
Police are still trying to work out whether it was a random attack. Now to video of the moment a Queensland family's puppy was snatched by dog nappers. The brazen act was all caught by security cameras.
10 a.m. in a Bundaberg backyard, a masked dog napper strikes. Jumping the fence, the thief finds 8-week-old Willow. The tiny pug tries to run but is taken in minutes.
We only got it 2 days ago and it was a puppy to my children.
Single mum Jamie Lee, who doesn't want to be identified, says her 6 children are devastated and believes this was a targeted attack. Hours after purchasing Willow on Sunday, the sellers demanded her back.
Told if we didn't give the dog back, they were going to steal it. 48 hours later, that's exactly what they did.
It doesn't stop there. In the early hours of this morning, Jamie Lee claims the thieves came back again, driving by her home just after midnight, security cameras capturing their every move.
I don't know if they were coming back for the second dog or it's, very scary.
The mum now urging anyone who sees a pug with 1 brown eye and 1 blue for sale in the area to contact police.
We paid for this dog. We own this dog. It is our puppy.
Hopeful little Willow will be returned home soon. Rachel Baxter, 7 News.
Healthcare giant Medibank is being sued by the privacy watchdog over a breach that exposed the personal details of almost 10 million current and former customers. Hackers stole the information in 2022 and posted it to the dark web. The Australian Information Commissioner says the insurer failed to take reasonable steps to protect the data. If found guilty, the company could face fines of more than $2 million for each violation. Australia's E-Safety Commission has dropped a lawsuit against social media giant X for not taking down video of the Webcke church stabbing in April. It comes after the federal court refused to extend a takedown order, which X was refusing to recognise. X-Corp owner Elon Musk called it a victory for free speech. The E-Safety Commission will now pursue the matter in the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. Vulnerable residents of an Ipswich unit complex have criticised a flood buyback scheme, claiming they received offers well below market value. Now they're calling on the state government to pay for new independent valuations.
2 years since floods decimated her daughter's unit, Glynis Lewis is still riding an emotional roller coaster.
My daughter has a disability and we thought we were doing the right thing for her to set her up for an independent life.
Then the complex went under for the 5th time in 11 years.
We didn't realise what a nightmare we were getting into.
The state government offered to buy back properties at market value so residents could relocate.
We work very closely and sympathetically with all of those residents.
But many of the 42 owners in My High Grove claim they were made lowball offers as low as $60,000. The state government says valuations under the scheme were carried out independently. It also maintains that individual unit owners here can still seek another valuation if they're unsatisfied. Residents here now demanding the government pick up the tab for that.
We've got a huge amount of vulnerable people here. None of us can afford to put in $1,000 each for a valuation.
It's too late for Glynis, who told 7 News she reluctantly accepted a disappointing offer, believing any money is better than none.
The potential for me to be able to get another place of any sort for my daughter is probably nil.
I just ask for the state government to show a little bit more compassion and give these guys a fair go.
Including some who, despite the lifeline, still feel dudded and defeated. Michael Hammond, 7 News.
Narendra Modi has been returned as Indian Prime Minister after winning a third term. But the win wasn't as clear-cut as expected, meaning he'll now rule with the coalition government. The result was too much for the boss of a major polling company, breaking down in tears on live TV as it became clear his prediction was way off the mark. Nigel Farage's run for UK Prime Minister is off to a shaky start. The politician pelted with a drink after his first full day of campaigning. The perpetrator, this woman, an OnlyFans model and Labor Party supporter. Her weapon, a banana milkshake. She was arrested while Farage headed straight for Macca's, returning with a whole tray of shakes.
It's known as polite parking, but is it illegal? Coming up, the rule catching Brisbane drivers out and the fight to scrap it.
A family's Porsche in a frightening head-on smash.
The DIY projects costing homeowners a fortune.
And how you can get your hands on special new Bluey Bucks.
A woman and her teenage daughter have been injured in a head-on collision after a car veered onto the wrong side of the road and slammed into their Porsche Macan. It happened last Thursday night in North Ipswich and was captured on the Porsche's dash cam.
Oh my God.
Police are still investigating and nobody has been charged.
Brisbane residents are getting stung for so-called polite parking, fined hundreds of dollars for trying to make room for passing vehicles.
Now there's a petition to change the laws, but council isn't budging.
Parking with two wheels on the curb isn't considerate, it's criminal. Brisbane City Council slapping a whole street of Upper Kedron residents with midnight fines.
Fines of $116 for parking safely on the verge.
Anne McNamara's 5 kids are all at uni and all at home with nowhere to park their cars.
They've set up a structure that doesn't work and then they book you if you try and do the right thing to the actual people you're living with.
The cost of living crisis has increased housing density, narrow streets and limited parking, creating a dangerous cocktail.
It becomes like a chicane and it's like Mario Kart, and that's dangerous for emergency vehicles as well.
It just makes it impossible if there's lots of cars on the road to get through.
Residents have started a petition urging council to tweak the laws. In Logan, cars can park on the curb or even the verge, provided there is sufficient room. But Brisbane City Council says it adheres to state government laws that prohibit parking on the nature strip. It has 210 signs warning people of narrow streets.
Yes, it is a state government law, but it is actually up to every individual council to make amendments, and they can.
Council opposition says it will look at the models neighbouring councils have adopted and push for changes when the petition is lodged in August. Last financial year, council collected $30 million in fines, perhaps a roadblock to a solution. Samantha Heathwood, 7 News.
It's known for low prices. Now Aldi is planning the same deal with insurance. The supermarket chain offering good, different car, home and contents coverage. It says all customers will be treated the same, unlike insurers that only tend to reward new clients. Prices will be competitive and the policy language straightforward. Extraordinary drone vision has captured a surface close encounter with a humpback whale on the Gold Coast. It happened just off Miami early this morning, just metres in front of him. After saying hello with a flick of its tail, the whale went back out to sea.
An Australian breakthrough is fighting a leading cause of blindness. How simple eye drops could save eyesight in over 50s. That story is just ahead on 7 News.
Well, now let's head back to our one-eyed maroon. Webby is in Sydney for the Origin opener.
Where the teams have arrived, Sharyn. Hello again. We go inside the Maroons camp and hear from the captain. Daly opens up on what's driving him tonight in a 7 News exclusive. Class, no joke. Tennis has a new men's world number 1 after Novak pulls out of the French Open. We're deep behind enemy lines tonight where no self-respecting Queenslander is ever comfortable. But you've helped make it a little easier tonight by your votes. The top 10 things you don't like about New South Wales is running on the screen below me, and the Maroons thank you. They also insist the team's only looking forward. Still, the captain, Daly Cherry Evans, is harnessing the hurt from one of the great missed opportunities.
A win in Sydney's no walk in the park. It's been 15 years since they've ambushed the Blues by more than a converted try, and the failure to secure a clean sweep here last year's lingered on the captain's mind.
Singing about it on the way in, actually, that the last game that we played for Queensland was really disappointing. We had a great opportunity in front of us.
Now it's a clean slate with a once-tried halves pairing. Cherry Evans reuniting with Tom Dearden.
He played fantastic in that decider a couple of years ago. Well, he's got all the belief of the not just the coach but the playing group as well.
But will he have the time and space? Mass versus mobility. The forward packs where Origins won or lost.
The attacking brilliance on the fringes. You need to win the middle third before those guys get their opportunity to shine.
Pulling on the maroon jerseys akin to Clark Kent changing to Superman. Take it from last year's 80-minute man.
The opportunity to wear this jumper is very special. Whatever the team needs from me, I'm more than happy to do that again.
A similar sentiment from the skipper at 35. Cherry Evans is ageing like fine wine and insists the bottle's not empty yet.
Each one could be my last one. Last year could have been my last one if I'm honest. But there's just something obviously about this team. Just for as long as we're creating that, I just don't know if I can walk away just yet.
In Sydney, Mitch Crone, 7 News.
But what are the Maroons walking into tonight? The Blues unknown could be their biggest threat and the home side's biggest weapon.
Strolling into a new era of the New South Wales Blues, a new coach, a new captain and 5 debutants.
Yeah, it's surreal. You think about more when you're younger, and then once you're playing, you try not to get too ahead of yourself.
At 30 years of age, Cam McInnes is the 7th oldest Blues debutant in history, and his Origin opportunity could have easily passed him by. But he's tough, competitive, and has a never-give-up attitude, all the qualities Michael Maguire demands.
I was a young kid that he got to give a debut to, you know, and I know how much important that is to him for all his players that he brings through.
That's when Maguire was was in charge of Souths and the soft spot remains. He tried to lure him to the Tigers when he was head coach. Finally, he's got his man.
Back when I was younger at South, the work we did with Madge, Luke Keary's in the same boat, Angus Crichton, a number of other guys that are at other clubs, we all speak about it. That work we did has really helped us in our careers, that toughness, that attitude.
Toughness comes naturally to another debutant. Softly spoken, Hamole Olakuatu has been chipping away at his goal of playing Origin since he was a youngster.
Since watching those Wednesday nights at home with my family, just dreaming about being in that arena.
Matt Carmichael, 7 News.
Tomorrow night in Newcastle, our women's title defence goes on the line in front of an historic sellout. The Maroons need a win to level the series after being outgunned in Game 1.
I think it was just an execution thing. I think there's plenty of places that we can score points within the team. We've got great strike, Taryn Aiken, Tamika Upton, Julia Robinson. We've tweaked a few things and just get those girls the ball.
We're not going to take them lightly at all, but we also want to go to that next level within our game. So I think we just need to focus on ourselves a lot the next 24 hours.
The Maroons have only won once in New South Wales. Friday, State Pride switches to AFL with the Lions season on life support. Ready to pull the plug, and under-strength Bulldogs, who've urged a returning star to pack a little less bite on his comeback from concussion.
He's the dog-hungry midfielder who sets the tone, but having missed 6 games due to head knocks, Tom Liberatore's been told to tone it down.
You see the commitment and the head-first stuff. We want him to do it a little bit differently. Instincts kick in, he may not be able to.
Libba back, but they're 2 dogs down in the forward line. Sam Darcy out suspended while Aaron Norton's injured, keeping the ball away from Lions gatekeeper Harris Andrews critical.
You've got to make sure that we're prepared for that and we mitigate the risk in the air.
Both sides standing on the outside of the 8 looking in. A win vital to keep their finals dream alive.
Haven't necessarily been winning games, but there's some real strength in their profile and they're going to make it difficult for us.
Ahead of both, the Suns, chasing an elusive away win against the struggling Saints.
We only have to knock off one to get that hood off the back, so I think for us, things don't change. It's just a matter of we really just have to start well.
Fellow co-captain Jared Witts will miss another match with a hamstring. Brett Thomas, 7 News.
Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from the French Open. Pushed to 5 sets in his last 2 matches, the world number 1 revealed on social media he's been secretly battling a knee injury. Yannick Sinner will replace Djokovic on top of the rankings, becoming Italy's first male world number 1 after advancing to the semi-finals with a straight sets win over Grigor Dimitrov. Sinner's semi-final opponent is Carlos Alcaraz, who downed Stefanos Tsitsipas in straight sets. Women's world number 1, Iga Swiatek, thrashed Marketa Vondrousova 6-love, 6-2, booking a semi-final date with American Coco Gauff. Well, Sharyn and Max, naturally I think Queensland will win, but this will be a tough game. New South Wales are desperate. We will win 12-8.
Well, the good thing is you're never wrong, are you? So I look forward to the Maroons win. All right, thank you, Webby.
Thanks, guys.
Well, let's take a quick look at finance now, and the Australian share market finished higher, the ASX 200 gaining 31.9 points. Treasury Wines Estates was the best performing stock, gaining more than 5%. But Sandfire Resources dropped by more than 6%. And the Aussie dollar is buying 66 US cents and $1.07 New Zealand.
DIY disasters are on the rise as property owners look to save money on home renovations. Tonight, 7 News can reveal the top 5 tasks most likely to fail.
This is how a bathroom should be built, something Troy Shetter discovered the hard way when the young first homebuyer's dream property turned out to be a house of horrors.
It looked good for all of 10 minutes and then, it all just started crumbling away.
Behind the neat facade lurked multiple disasters, from dodgy stud walls to a homemade bathroom riddled with dampness and mould.
The shower had been leaking. Removing the top of the drain in the shower showed that it was just a shower base on top of another shower base.
DIY disasters are on the rise, with new research finding 43% of homeowners have had a job turn sour. The top 5 epic fails are painting, landscaping, plumbing, cabinetry and tiling. All the effort to save money can be costly to fix.
Whole decks and pergolas being pulled down, bathrooms and kitchens being ripped out.
We were lucky to get away with 15 grand, and it's a decent sized bathroom, so it's a lot of tiles and a lot of time and effort going into it.
With building material costs up by a third on pre-pandemic prices, it's little wonder budgets are tight for renovators.
Trying to save every dollar, you can't blame them, but unfortunately, in most cases, it leads to a much bigger and costly exercise.
Homebuyers are urged to obtain pre-purchase building inspections, which cost as little as $600. Jackie Quist, 7 News.
A set of commemorative coins celebrating the Healer family has officially hit the shelves. The limited run Bluey coins featuring the whole family, and they're in special packaging. With the $1 coins now for real life, the Royal Mint hopes it could begin a new generation of collectors. Coins can be purchased from the Royal Mint website. A simple solution to save eyesight next, the Australian invention reversing vision loss with eye drops.
And a few drops of rain around this evening, but how long will they last? I'll have the forecast next from here at Woody Point.
Australian scientists are working on a groundbreaking treatment that could be the key to saving the sight of thousands battling serious eye conditions. It's a simple eye drop promising to revolutionise the way we deal with macular degeneration.
Karen Mazurek was diagnosed with wet macular degeneration a decade ago. A leading cause of vision loss, the symptoms can be severe and sudden.
Once diagnosed, the major loss with the vision was quite extreme.
She needs eye injections every 7 weeks or else she could go blind.
So there's limits on where I can go and what I can do.
But there's hope. A new, less invasive option could soon be available, with the team at the Australian Centre for Eye Research developing a cutting-edge form of gene therapy.
Potentially replace need for regular eye injection with a simple eye drop.
Creating a new functioning copy of the defective eye gene, which is delivered into the retinal cells via a specially engineered non-infectious virus injected once into the back of the eye. That gene can then be switched on with the eye drop that a patient can do themselves at home.
More convenient and also more comfortable.
It would be groundbreaking. It would completely change the way macular degeneration is treated, and it would be so much easier for the patient as well.
The technology is still 5 to 10 years away from moving to human trials, but if successful, it's believed the drops could also be used to treat a range of other eye conditions and diseases.
This can be used for things like diabetic macular edema, vein occlusion.
Amber Laidler, 7 News.
Weather now, Tony. A few drops of rain around this evening.
Yes, Max, it's hard to believe given the beautiful conditions today, and I've enjoyed some really calm conditions here at Woody Point over the last few hours. But yes, we do have a few of those drops of rain closing in at the moment. Let's jump to the radar. You can see all of that activity closing in from the west this evening. Some patchy showers on the ranges, probably just enough to justify getting that washing in off the line this evening. Now, it was a cold early winter morning in the southeast. Canungra setting the low mark on 3 degrees, then Brisbane, Ipswich and Archerfield all climbing up to 23. Now, heading into state where heavier rain is building to the south and north of Sydney at the moment, but save for a passing shower, I think it should hold off for Origin Game 1 in the next few hours. On to tomorrow's forecast chart, the rain should set in across a larger part of the New South Wales coast tomorrow as a low spins up offshore. That same low will wrap more dry and cool air up into Queensland, so expect more mostly sunny but cool days, especially for southern parts of the Sunshine State. Around the capitals, rain developing in Sydney, maybe a few tears for Blues supporters mixed in there too. Perth looking a bit wild with rain, a possible storm and gusty winds. And Darwin at the other end of the spectrum, sunny and 31 degrees. Back to northern Queensland, mostly sunny skies across the board. Cairns and Townsville tracking around 26 and 27 degrees. Mackay a bit cooler on 24. Over southern districts, a band of very short-lived showers clears offshore overnight, then mostly sunny on the coast as a bit of cloud piles up in westerly winds on the west side of the ranges. 7 up to 16 degrees in Toowoomba and a little bit warmer, so not too much frost around. In the southeast, we could also get a few brief drops of rain later tonight, then plenty of blue sky returning tomorrow. Slightly warmer minimums, 9 to 23 in Logan, and most coastal and bayside locations should stay in double figures tonight, 12 to 22 here in Redcliffe. Boaties, light winds, west-southwest below 10 knots on the bay, and that means sea should stay below half a metre. So in Brisbane, somewhere between partly cloudy and mostly sunny skies for your Thursday. 11 tonight, not quite as cold, then back up to 23 degrees. Looking further ahead, great news if you love a bit of sunshine. There'll be plenty on offer right through the next week, 10 to 21 on Friday. Also blue skies in Ipswich. Friday and Saturday mornings should be a little bit colder again on just 5 degrees. On the Gold Coast, great conditions continuing through the weekend and clean conditions on the beaches too. Sunshine coasters warming up amongst those blue skies, potentially peaking into the mid-20s at this time next week. But Sharyn, Max, that's tonight's weather. It's back to you.
Thank you, Tony. And that is all from us this Wednesday. Thanks for your company.
Updates throughout the evening, but for now, from all the team, have a good night.
Good night.